All right, this is the updated any percent speedrunning tutorial as of January 2021. So at this point, we have access to many versions of the game. I'll be showing you the any percent tutorial on 1.4.3. You do need to run any percent on 1.4 and beyond in order to use a game-breaking glitch, which I will show you. So at this point, you're going to make sure you're in an offline game. You would go to your hero select screen and you would create a new hero. I'm going to skip this step because I'm going to use a hero that has some predetermined or some gear given to me already that I want to show you how it works. So pretend that this is a new hero and then we hit start game. So this is entering the tutorial, which we are going to skip. And the fastest way to skip the tutorial is to spam spacebar. It says there's spam it, right? And you ideally wouldn't jump. When you get to this part, so as soon as you hit spam spacebar enough, you hit escape, click on exit tutorial, and you can press enter or click on confirm. So if you're doing that really, really quickly, that takes about 2.5 seconds, depending on how good your timer is and how good your computer is. Now at this point, you're going to hit M, click on Creeper Woods, and hit the space bar. So let me just show you. Oh, let me turn off some tool tips real quick. You can keep those on if you want. Game, tutorial hints off, apply. Okay, so we're going to hop into Creeper Woods, lowest difficulty, go. So ideally getting into Creeper Woods, your timer will be at less than 5 seconds if you get good enough at it. That's typically accepted. So here you spam spacebar again until we're here. And now we are in the game. So again, I have a model character that has all these like perfect items that I'll show you what they all do at some point. But at this point, we're just going to go. Jump and click. Now you're going to avoid killing enemies as much as possible. We don't have to kill very much at all here. So one thing to note is you can hold left click and move around, or if you're using a controller, just the joystick. And a skill that you should get used to doing is rolling and shooting at the same time. So what we can do here is, I should have my Noah board up. Hold on one second. Noah board. Oh, that's not going to work. Okay. Do Noah board, or no board. Okay. Perfect. So it's going to show you what I do with my mouse to get the shot off. So I'm holding left click, I roll, and I shoot at the same time. My roll is on my bottom mouse button, but you can put it anywhere you want. So again, you're running, you shoot and click. And you don't want to slow down while doing this like I've been doing. You're just moving, boom, roll click. So this is the first little skip we have. It's this tree over here. A lot of runners go to the right side of the tree and jump off this way towards the ground. I like to go to the left side and jump where I can see and roll on down and keep going forward. Now remember, the point of the game, you're going to follow this this yellow box, or this yellow shape here with a little hammer guy in it or something. That's always going to be where your objective is. So here we have to click on this, and then our objective moves to the top left. You're always moving towards where the objective shows. Killing some little things along the way, but you really don't need to kill much at all. Pathway goes up here. Now the pathway is going to be different every time. If you're doing random seed, we do have set seed, which I'm not going to be quite showing you yet. We may explore it in this video. So after you jump off this cliff and you kill this creeper, you have the option to, there's two different strategies here. You can go into the store and open up the vendor, and I'll show you what that's all about. Or you can skip this altogether. If you're a new player, I do recommend unlocking the vendor because it does give you access to higher level gear, and it makes the run a little bit easier. When you do this, a chest will appear. Get a bunch of items from it. This is a level 1 axe, so it's not all that good. I'm just going to salvage it right away. This chest here, you open it. It's not usually here. Level 1 sword, salvaging it. Let me just check real quick. Okay. So again, these items would not be in your inventory in a standard run. This is just my pre-made character. So all that we would have gotten so far is our level 1 axe and level 1 sword, which I already salvaged. You want to get all these emeralds. They will be important for the vendor. That's the vendor unlock, village merchant. Went around that way. One thing that's important also in any percent is the potion drops. This is a strength potion, so it allows you to deal more damage for a good bit of time. How much time? For 30 seconds. And the Shadow Brew makes you invisible to enemies for 10 seconds, and it gives you one powerful attack, one powerful melee attack. And if you attack at all, you lose your shadow. Here I always give a roll shoot to that creeper to keep moving forward. Again, you don't have to kill anything, but if you really feel like you're in trouble, like, oh, this guy's going to hit me, oh no, just shoot him. It's okay. Also notice that shooting an arrow gives a little bit of a stun to the stronger enemies. So if you're really worried about a stronger guy, you can wait till you're kind of close and give him a shot. You'll get used to the pathways. Oh, I'm worried. Shoot, gone. The seeds, like I said, are randomly generated. So that's another little skip, but you know, worry about the little skips later. The pathways are randomly generated for the most part, but there's a couple very large geometries that you'll get used to seeing and learn how to efficiently move around them. Still just moving towards our objective. Lots of bad guys, but I'm not very low on health, so it's not a big deal. You'll learn how to efficiently kind of avoid getting hit. These guys have like a really long reach, so it's kind of annoying. Always check these little side things for chests. Oh, by the way, hit tab to open or close the background map. I always have it open, but a lot of runners do not have it open. This fence right here, if you are not doing vendor strats, if you're at this fence by 2 minutes, then your timing is just about average. If you are doing vendor, the vendor itself takes about 45 seconds. So at 2 minutes, 45 seconds, you should be at this gate. Okay, then we go to this cliff here. Keep in mind, if your health is too low, you actually can't jump off this cliff. You'll take enough fall damage and die. My health is high enough, so I'm going to roll off, and I'm going to shoot the pig on the way down. The pig can be in a couple locations here. It could be in this first set of spiders, which in this case it was. You don't have to kill these spiders, by the way. I'm just talking, so I'm not moving. When it's here, you can roll down and shoot the pig right at the start. It can also be at the other end of this little spider cave here. Also keep in mind there can be red chests or golden chests on either end of this spider cave. So I'm just going to check both ends just because for tutorial purposes. Maybe one will appear. In this case, there's a brown chest here, which can still be helpful. I'm just going to get some more emeralds for the vendor anyway. So yeah, the second spot the pig can be located is right where I am right now. The pig is very important, and I do recommend getting every pig that you can as a new runner. So especially in Creeper Woods, we kill the pig in order to get ideally an upgraded weapon or armor, and to get a speed artifact. We're specifically looking for a Deathcap Mushroom or a Boot of Swiftness. And I'll go through all of those in a bit. So this part can be a little scary because you have a lot of guys following you, but you're just going to follow a clean pathway around and click on these villagers along the way. If you have a TNT, now would be the time to throw it, like right about here, and kill all these guys. So I'm just going to kill these guys just for the experience. But again, you wouldn't be doing this in your standard any percent run. I'm just doing it to show you. This skip here is another skip that we do, where instead of walking around and going up these stairs and going back around to click this objective, we go up on this box. So you can hook a little left here on this box and then hook right, and you'll hop right up there. And keep cruising along. I'm going to keep roll shooting. It's a good skill to get used to doing. Rolling does slow you down. If you look right down here where my mouse is, when you roll, there's a little cooldown that goes, and during that cooldown, you're actually walking slower. So when you roll, you are losing time. It's not a lot of time, and it is worth getting the experience by roll shooting. So definitely try to incorporate roll shooting into your runs. Little roll shoot. This part can be very scary, especially if you don't have a potion up and you're very low health. You can take it slow and kill a lot of things if you want, and you'll get used to how to avoid getting hit. I always roll shoot this creeper here. It usually appears in a pretty hittable spot. Boom. And then you click that. Creeper Woods. Done. We did it. First level complete. So now we get offered an artifact. In a perfect world, we get a boot of swiftness. Let's see. Okay, in this case, we got a death cap mushroom, which is fine. A death cap mushroom is perfectly fine. Now, also in a perfect world, if you got an additional artifact out of the pig, it might be a boot of swiftness. So you might have a setup where you have a boot of swiftness and a death cap mushroom at the start. So this is the vendor that we opened up, which is optional again. It's something that I would recommend as a newer player, but you don't have to do it. And some people think it loses time. Some think it might save time. It's still up for grabs. So when you open up the vendor, usually only 2 slots will be open. I'm not sure why there's multiple slots open right now. It's probably something to do with my weird save file. And you can get offered speed artifacts in the village merchant. So that's something to keep in mind. One thing that you should aim to do as a newer player with the shop is to improve the level of your gear. So this level 7 bow right here, I haven't picked up anything on my own. I must have picked this up at some point. I remember the axe salvage. You want to increase your power level. So it says power right here. Right now it's 3. The point of the merchant is to buy really good gear if it's available, but also to increase your power level if nothing is available, because the higher your power level, the higher level things that are offered to you or dropped to you generally. So you do want to increase your power level. So I'm going to buy this longbow here. Because it is power level 7, I'm going to restock once. You should only restock once per level that you beat, because it costs 50. And the second restock costs 100. So I'm going to attach that level 7 bow. And I'm going to salvage this here. So one thing I should maybe mention now is the enchantments, because we have an enchantment point here. So we look for enchantments that are very fast. So on this armor here, Archer's armor, it has something called Swift-Footed. Swift-Footed is the best armor enchantment we can get for speed. It says rolling makes you move faster for 3 seconds. It's 30% faster for 3 seconds. It is really, really excellent. We love using Archer's armor. Another fast thing, it's kind of fast, is speed synergy. It says when activating any artifact, you gain 20% movement speed, so that's less than Swift-Footed, for 1 second, so it's really not all that long either. But that is also an option. Let's see if we have the other. Oh, cooldown is another option. It reduces the cooldown time between uses of your artifacts. Foot Cream has a great video going over all the artifacts and what's fast and what's not. So just know, ideally, we do want a Swift Foot. And also an Archer's armor is a god drop, so there's that. So I am going to run into Creeper Woods with this gear here, a little less than ideal gear. Oh, sorry, Cacti Canyon. So the second level we have after you buy all your stuff. Oh, there's also a chest right here with 50 emeralds. So if you're a little low on something at the merchant, you can grab 50 emeralds there real quick. So the second level we run is Cacti Canyon. Cacti Canyon can be very, very scary. So run up, click this objective. There's a really crazy jump that you could try here where you run over this way and you jump across and you can hit that block there. If you do it perfectly, I'm going to try one more time for the fun. Nope. You can hit that block and you can, after you press the objective, you can jump across before the bridge is up, but it's very difficult. So here you want to get as much speed as possible, trying to go through. Keep in mind, this speed run is harder if you have less good equipment. And I know that sounds obvious, but if you're trying to run this game and you think you're learning this game by running less than ideal artifacts, you're going to give yourself a really hard time here. There's so many enemies, and there's these little guys called baby zombies, these guys, who are just so awful to deal with. So I would recommend only continuing runs when you have good enough gear to not die a lot in Cacti Canyon. There is another red chest in the middle of this little pond right here. It's kind of hard to get to, and you'll find yourself dying a lot going for this. So yeah, I died right there. Typically, I'll die before I even open the chest. So that's level 9 crossbow. So the only reason we got offered a level 9 is probably because we bought the level 7 in the shop. So that was a good purchase in general. So from the stuff I've gotten offered, nothing really increases my speed a lot right now. So I'm going to save my enchantment point in case I get something that has Swiftfoot, so I can show you the speed of Swiftfoot. Grab our supplies. There's two different configurations for this part of the map. This happens to be the faster one. And let me show you the pathway. So you go left here. Don't worry about these stupid baby zombies. You go left. Baby zombies don't deal a lot of damage, but they give you a little bit of a knockback. You come around this way, and then you start activating beacons. Oh, God. Baby zombies. Okay, and then you loop around in this direction. This is a very important part to not die in. If you die, especially when you're maybe all the way back here, you lose about 20 seconds plus. It's a very, very severe time loss. This is a little fun glitch that we have with beacons. You can go right under it and then click on top, and then it works. We jump off the edge here. There's a little chest on this pathway that we can go down. Heavy crossbow, level 13. So we're increasing our power level even more. We're power level 6 right now. And this has dynamo, which is really, really important. And I'll be showing you why a little bit later in the run. If you start running this game a lot, you're actually going to have a saved character that has a dynamo bow already when you enter the game. So you're not going to have to worry about finding one. Okay, the skeleton horsemen, they are on every map, but where they spawn is random, so you don't always trigger it. There's a pig here that is, again, I think every pig's kind of important to get. I'm not going to tell you exactly which items I think are good or bad necessarily, because I think different items have different uses, depending on your level of skill and depending like what kind of run you're going for, whether it's a personal best or if it's a world record or something. So if you have skeleton horsemen, you can kill them pretty much at any time. I'm just going to do it now because they're kind of in the way. Going to kill these guys here. Little key ambush. Shoot the skeleton horseman and go. So we get this key. Again, this is a part that is more difficult if you don't have speed items. If you have a tasty bone here, I'm not going to say it's impossible to get this key in, because it's not, but it's way, way harder. So even just having one boot is just really, really good for this. Get these beacons. So another little skip that we have, we get this key and we roll off. You have to be careful to not get hit as you're rolling off, because the key can sometimes actually glitch through the floor. But more likely you're just going to lose the key and have a pretty hard time getting it back. It can be really difficult, and a lot of runners lose a lot of time here. So we're just going to keep running through. There's a few configurations of this part of the map also, and if you watch a lot of the top runners, you'll see where the little skips are all around. But in general, we're just going towards the end. So I would recommend at this point using your upgrade point on something. So in this case, since I'm just going to get rid of this, I'll upgrade. Use your mushroom. So ideally, you're going to get a creeper like was just there in every single wave, because creepers make things go really fast. Strength potions make things go fast. Good, more creepers. Watch this. We're going to get this other creeper to trigger. Wave gone. Creepers are great for this fight. Let's see, any more creepers? No more creepers, so we have to fight this one out. No big deal. Our bow is really strong, so we're taking care of these enemies pretty quickly. Again, if you're a new runner, don't worry too much about your speed. Just make sure to play smart and clean. Okay. So another creeper. Boom. And we are done. You can unlock the luxury merchant here if you want. The luxury merchant offers a lot of high-level gear, can offer uniques, but it's very, very, very expensive. So usually you don't end up buying anything from it. So you have the option to open it. If you see something you really like, you could keep it. If not, no big deal. So what did we get? Okay, Windhorn is a good pickup. We're going to attach that. We're going to see what the village merchant has. Soul knives are very, very good. They're very strong. And right now we have a level, let me show you, we have a level 1 sword that we found naturally. So buying this level 9 soul knife is a huge improvement. I'm definitely going to do it. Firework arrow is actually really good. I'm going to reserve that because there's a glitch that'll show you which uses firework arrow, and you can actually get infinite firework arrows. Okay, so soul knife here. Again, watch Foot Cream's video on enchantment. Oh, feather is really, really good. I'm going to reserve that feather in case we end up with 630 emeralds. Actually, I know I have feather in my inventory already. If you're doing this run on your own and you see a feather, you should save it. There's a lot of good skips that we can do with feather, and feather activates, remember I said swift-footed before, so rolling is that natural like space bar where you have a secondary roll you can program to whatever thing. The feather, since it's a roll, it activates rolling triggers and it gets an additional swift foot, so it's a really, really good pickup. Okay, so let's hop into our third stage, which is Desert Temple. Desert Temple is where good runs are made and bad runs go to die. So you're really looking for power level improvement. Right now we're at power level 9. You're looking for power level improvement in this level for sure. Make sure you use your artifacts to get around. These spear guards are really annoying, and also the necromancers are annoying. Finding shadow brews is always good for this. Get some more emeralds along the way. Again, you don't have to get emeralds. I'm just doing this to be safe. You can run into the water. It's a little bit slower, but it's faster than running through the necromancers who spawn a lot of enemies. I always get the supply chests. I would always get them so your arrow count doesn't go too low. Once you get good enough, you can decide which chest you're going to skip. But especially when you're learning, I wouldn't skip a single one. So going to this key room, these blue fire guys are a real pain because any damage you take makes you drop your key. And so if you're holding the key and then the fire goes like right over here, you can't get through until the fire is gone, and then you're surrounded by enemies and everything's bad. So let's grab this and then get running around. You want to make sure to not get hit, of course. We have a horn here, so we're going to try to use that. Zoom around these spear guys over here, and it looks like we have a clean key. Boom. So you can walk around, let me show you. You can walk around these pressure plates by walking on the wall up here. It's interesting. The enemy there is pushing them, so that's why those were closing. We go into the side room here. There's two configurations we can have of the side room. One of them is this. This is the worst one. There's another configuration where you can go over here and jump down this way. And there's a room that opens up here. And ideally, in a perfect world, we'd be able to get in there. See if we break it. No. You can get in this room, and there's an obsidian chest in there, and obsidian chests are really good, and they can give you artifacts and really powerful weapons. Unfortunately, on this seed, we only get this chest, which in this case gave us a level 7 glaive. I'd say glaive is a good backup to a soul knife, but if you have a good soul knife, I'd rather keep the soul knife. Okay, so here we run. Get more emeralds if you want. This Enderman here only triggers if you look at it. So we're going to walk around it, use our horn. The horn doesn't trigger it. Oh, we have to get this pig. Unfortunately, the pig is in kind of a weird spot. So we got the pig. Ooh. Okay, using our horn to get around. Pigs on Desert Temple are very, very, very important. They can drop artifacts, and they can drop the game-breaking artifact, which I'm going to pretend was actually dropped from the pig. I'll show you what it is when we get to the fight trigger. So one thing we really look for in an any % run is the Torment Quiver, which is right there. So I'm going to attach the Torment Quiver, and I'll show you to what it does in a bit. Ooh, actually, this bow that we got is pretty good. I'll attach that at some point. Actually, we're not going to need it because we have this Torment Quiver. Torment Quiver attained. So you don't need to kill every enemy, just the ones that spawn. Oh, this is the other potion that we haven't seen yet. This is a swiftness potion. It makes you faster for quite a while, and if you use every bit of the speed potion, it saves you about 5 seconds in total. So now we're just going to zoom zip around more. I'm not going to go over the specific time skips you can do on this stage. Make sure you watch a bunch of runs to learn that. Make sure at this point you have Dynamo upgraded using an enchantment point. Oops. All right, I kind of made a mistake here. All right, I'm just going to do it now. Okay, I showed you a little bit of what the glitch is going to do. Ooh, we got a Truth Seeker, which is actually a really insane weapon. I don't even know if I'm going to attach it. It's so good, it kind of makes the speed run like very, very, very easy, so I might not even show you. Okay. So, if you'll notice, we have Torment Quiver active. So we killed enough enemies to get it active. And we're going to launch the boss. Ooh, level 12. I'll use it. Why not? So we have dynamos built up. And watch this. This boss usually takes a while. Dead. Another unique. Insane. Yeah, so what this does is Dynamo, it adds damage to the next attack after rolling. If you upgrade it once, it's plenty. So you roll, you activate Torment Quiver, specifically Torment Quiver, and for some reason it does really, really, really high damage, and we don't really know why. We think it's some sort of glitch, because it is way stronger than it should be. Way stronger. It just insta-kills everything in his path. It's insane. It's really, really good. And there's Desert Temple. So, I'll also show you the infinite firework glitch. I'm actually going to show you that in camp right now. Oh, also at a Desert Temple, we can get a boot of swiftness in there, which would be ideal. So I'm going to pretend we also got a second boot of swiftness. We got that already. So let me show you infinite glitches. I'll show you it here. All right, we had a firework that we wanted. Firework. Okay, so infinite firework glitch. So we'll go to the testing dummy here. So the scatter crossbow shoots multiple shots. Specifically, it shoots 3 right here. And the way it does it, it shoots 1, 2, 3 really like right? It doesn't shoot them all at once. It shoots 1, 2, 3 in that order. So what we can do, we can shoot less than 3. Right? I shot 1, there's 2. There's 2, there's 1. The way I'm doing that, if you look at how my mouse is moving, I'm just hitting them very close together. So what we can do, if we get good enough at doing it, we can, as you see, the firework only has 1 shot. So if I were to shoot right now, it would shoot 3 fireworks and I'd be done. But if I cancel my shooting animation before the 3rd arrow hits, like that, it doesn't use the firework ammo. See that? So we're dealing firework damage with 1 or 2 shots, but we're not using that ammo. So if I were to shoot it regularly, boom, it's gone. But if I do right, left, click real quick, it never disappears. This also works for the Torment Quiver. So if we have a scatter bow that has dynamo, we can infinitely get those really, really powerful attacks. Now, one more thing that we can add on to a bow to make it powerful, as powerful as possible, is if, like this one does, an additional slot of multi-shot. What multi-shot does is it gives your bows a chance to trigger more arrows. So instead of just getting 1 or 2 arrows, we get like 10, and it can be really, really insane. So for now, we didn't quite have this bow attached. We had this one attached. So we'll get to this. We'll add that on. I think I'm going to do an archer's armor. Or, sorry, what am I going to do? I'm going to do an Evo robe here. I'm just going to run the rest of the run with this. The Evo robe is a really good drop. It has plus 15% move speed aura. It's really, really good. And minus 25% artifact cooldown, so very strong. I'm going to upgrade Swiftfoot so I can kind of get through this level a little bit quicker. So next we go to Redstone Mines. Keep in mind, I was talking about raising your power level. If your power level is 10 or above, when you go to enter Redstone, click on it again, you'll see that the difficulty is actually raised higher than it needs to be. You can click on level 2 down here to make this level a bit easier for you, which you definitely should do. We're all about speed here. It's not about difficulty. So, start of the level. Now I'm going to incorporate the Swiftfoot rolls into my running. Keep in mind, I am also 15% faster because of the move speed aura. So at this point, it's going to look like I'm really cruising with my speed because I am. I think the hardest part about this level is these tight little pathways, especially when you're new. You have to get comfortable zigzagging in and out of these enemies because they can be really annoying. But I mean, other than that, it's pretty straightforward. We're just going through the objectives, trying not to die, kind of rolling our way through. And again, this is way easier because I'm fast. If you're slower, this is very difficult. We're not going to get that pig for now. If you're new, you should get the pigs, but... Oof. Again, this is much more difficult if you don't have speed items. So if you're newer, don't feel like you have to really continue runs if you don't have some pretty good speed items. But it is, there's something to be said about finishing runs with less than ideal gear for sure. So this is a really good point to pick up souls. Because there's a lot of enemies here, and they're all lined up. So let's see. Boom, boom. So this should be enough souls. Yeah. So now my Torment Quiver is active. You need to collect 30 souls to activate your Torment Quiver. If you have a soul knife, that turns into 15. I believe if you don't have a soul knife, it's a straight 30 kills. So we activate our Torment. We have 27 rolls of Dynamo. This is just one-shot boss. You can skip the gear here at this point, but I'm going to pick it up anyway. Boom. Redstone done. Redstone complete. So after every single level, remember to go back to the vendor if you're doing vendor strats. If you're not, you don't need to use your time doing that. Vendor, check. Wow, vendor, holy cow. Restock one time only. Oh, a feather. We love feathers. I like feathers a lot. I would love to buy that, but again, you'll find out what artifacts are good and what isn't as you continue to play the game a bit more. I'm just going to erase everything at this point and just use what's in the saved character. Next level is Fiery Forge. Fiery Forge is a lot of running, so at this stage you'll really feel if you don't have speed items. So fortunately we have a bunch of speed items, so this is going to be quite fast. You're just zigzagging through. It's hard to be brave on this level at first, I think, because there's a lot of enemies. We zap around this way a little bit for this item chest. It can drop some good things sometimes. As you see, it's a level 17 piece of armor. That's really strong, actually. So keep going. I'm rolling to activate my Swiftfoot. I'm using my Boot of Swiftness to maintain my speed. If you're better than me, you don't run into objects and things go quite fast. You should avoid that lava there, but I mean, it's really not the biggest time loss or health loss if you run into the lava. You can always get these supplies and everything is good. Rolling boots, zigzagging through, nothing special here. You'll get used to the level layouts as you continue playing. So this is all very familiar to me. If this is not familiar, this is a really hard place. If you don't have speed, you will die here. You will. And that's okay. Don't get frustrated if you die. You're going to die a bunch as you're learning this run. So this part, you have to activate these cores. And these cores can really determine how fast your fiery forge is. So you look at your background map and determine the best pathway. I might as well kill this. Determine the best pathway to get these cores. Because there's an exit that opens up after you hit the last core. And if you do it in a weird order, you're not going to be near the exit when you get it open. So I saw the exit was over this way, so I did these cores last over here. Remember to get every pig. I'm just not... Oh, okay. So we're near the end of the level, so we have to get souls. So I'm going to spend some time killing some guys. I could have picked a better group. Okay. Remember, you have to kill enough enemies so that your Torment Quiver is active. Okay, my Torment Quiver is active, so I actually don't need any more. For this boss, you need to have 5 dynamo stacks lined up. So we already have 11, so we're definitely good. But I am going to keep rolling because I have Swiftfoot. If you don't have Swiftfoot, getting the 5 rolls in is not as natural as when you have Swiftfoot. So just remember, 5 rolls for this boss. I'm going to get this for the health. At this point, we don't really need arrows because our arrows are so strong. Boom. Boom. Torment active. I have 20 stacks. This is going to be an insta-kill. Then you just keep on running. And remember, this is way harder with slow gear. I would have died so many times there if I didn't have my improved speed gear. So really don't get frustrated when you die in weird places. It will happen. So again, we go to the vendor if we have the vendor. If we don't have the vendor, we just go right to the next stage. So the next stage is high block halls. This is the first stage that you really feel if you have bad gear, if you have bad battle gear and bad speed gear, because we are under leveled for this. So you check your vendor, look for if there's anything you can improve. 18 is really strong, but True Seeker is really strong as well. So probably just going to keep that. Yeah, we're just going to keep the True Seeker. We're going to refresh once. Ooh, this is a really good bow. If I didn't have perfect gear in my inventory already, I would buy this scatter bow. It has accelerate, which I really like. All 3 of these are actually pretty okay. So anyway, let's hop into high block halls. Make sure you're as strong as possible when getting into high block halls. It is a very, very, very difficult level. Really difficult. So what I'm actually going to do, I mentioned that bow that I had before that was really good. I'm gonna use that. So I'm going to put 1 into dynamo, 1 into multi-shot, and we'll run through this stage. So I'm going to show you how to run through it, ideally just quickly here. But just know this stage is incredibly frustrating. And as a new player, you will die a lot. I know I keep saying that, but I just want you to know it's true. And don't be afraid to die a lot. And don't get frustrated when it happens, because it's not an if. There's 3 different configurations you can get for this part of the run here. So I mentioned the feather before, so let me attach the feather right now. The feather is used specifically for this skip here. Now, I'm bad at this, but let's see if we can get it. So you get up here. Then you get... Okay. See, these are things that you should practice, but if you're me, you don't practice them and you're bad. Oh, that's annoying. Okay, and then once you're up here... Boom. And we are past. So usually there's an ambush there that takes a very long time to do. If you can find a way to skip the ambush like that, then you don't have to do it, and it saves a lot of time. So I'm going to reattach that Torment Quiver that was there. Get some more souls. Speed on through. Fall down here. And then you go down this well. We go down the well because it's usually faster than doing the key objective. And there's a pig here. And you really want to improve your gear and pick up a scatterbow just like that. And if you don't have the perfect gear set up, like the saved character that I have, the only way you can find a scatterbow is through enemies in this level, including that pig. So I would always kill that pig in hopes that you get a good scatterbow like that. Oof. You can kill these enemies if you're uncomfortable. Okay, the rest of this run is really, really, really hard. Very, very difficult. If you haven't lost lives already, you will lose lives here. So, especially as you're learning. So you click these tables kind of as fast as possible. I like to go in the middle and just kind of click around. You got to zoom around, be very careful, because if you get stuck for even a second, you're probably going to die here. We're just zooming. Trying to avoid arrows as much as possible. Oof. I'm actually going to activate my Torment Quiver. Again, you're just looking for the path. Fortunately, I got a pretty short pathway here. Okay. You open this obsidian chest, jump off as quick as possible, and start zooming around. Activate your swift foot as much as possible. Okay, so that was really, really clean. That can be incredibly scary. I've game over there countless times. So always get the supply chest. It's good to have healing going into the next fight, and it's always good to re-up on your arrows. Okay, so you have to go all the way up here. Okay, so now I have my scatter bow, and I have multi-shots. Now I can do my infinite glitch. We have to make sure you roll every time. So now my Torment Quiver isn't going down. Oh, actually, you don't need to roll every time, because if you successfully left-right click, your dynamo doesn't get used either. So I have infinite soul quiver and infinite dynamo, theoretically. So far, so good. I usually just melee things otherwise. Boom. 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 So easy. This is a 7-wave ambush, and it's actually usually really, really difficult. But if you have a perfect bow like this, it's really not so bad. So typically, I would just be fighting without these glitches. But these, you know, game-saving glitches, or game-breaking glitches, if you will, are just so much fun. Boom. I'm actually going to finish the fight without these and just use something like a regular scatterbow just to show you kind of what the fight usually ends up at. So more like something like this. Maybe I'll upgrade now. So the fight, typically you got to do, you know, run around as fast as possible. Throw these in tight places. You have to be very careful. Oh, did I just discover another glitch here? Oh, no. Okay. So I don't have dynamo on this bow, so you'll see my Torment Quiver is still good, but it's not insta-kill like the other Torment Quiver was. Okay. So I'm trying to zip around. Strength potions are excellent here. Oof. Oh, I should be dead, but I'm insane, so. So we're just finishing this fight. Again, 7 waves. You don't have to count it. It feels silly to count it sometimes. So that was 7. I'm going to put back on the insane bow. Okay, we'll go back here. That's High Block Hall. So again, that's the hardest level in the run. You will die a lot. You'll game over on it a lot, especially when you're learning. I forbid you from being upset about it. We got a firework arrow, so we can do that infinite firework thing that we were talking about even further. Again, you're checking the vendor before you go into anything, just to make sure you have all you want. Obsidian Pinnacle, they used to have the minimum difficulty as 5, but in patch 1.4, they lowered it so you could do difficulty 4, so it makes the level a lot easier for us. This level, I think, is equal to high block in terms of if you don't have speed, it's very hard. So let's get running. If you're not confident, you can switch out the Torment Quiver I have right now for a speed or defensive artifact, like a horn or something. Otherwise, you're just rolling around. There's a couple little skips here that you can skip some of the platforms if you know if you know the little secrets. I'm not going to go over every single one. You can watch some high-level players play, and we'll do it in our runs. There is a skippable ambush, but not this one, unfortunately. But it's okay. Oof. I'm going to die. So that's my bad. I had a bad roll here. So you could attach your firework and do your infinite firework glitch here. It's probably actually a wise idea to do that. But I'm just going to fight it out regularly just to kind of show you, I guess, at least a semi-struggle. Ooh. Okay, so I'm going to activate my torment and just clear this out. Yeah. Okay. So this next objective, you hit these beacons. I'm going to do it again. Okay, so I'm actually going to get rid of my torment. I'm not going to do it properly like I showed you how to do it, because I need to collect more souls now. Ooh, gonna die. Okay. Maybe get a few souls here, just for good luck. Ooh. So you can see where this would be pretty scary. Okay, here is a skip. You don't have to do this skip. You can just jump right down here and go into this little underhall. It's a little bit scarier, but it works. The lineup for this skip now, I like to go right around this corner. You don't have to go slow as I'm going. If you're good at it, you go right to this corner. You aim right for this block right here, and you go. See? Just like that. I'm just kidding. It didn't work because I'm bad. I'll get it. There's a much quicker way to do it where you just like run and do it. That was... Let me just try it the quick way. Yeah, that's the quick way. You just kind of line up and do it. If you want specific skills tutorials like that, then there's plenty of videos you can watch for... Wow, that was really short, actually. That was very weirdly short. Again, they're in mostly everyone's high-level run. They get the skip right away. Lots of videos showing how to do it properly. So just zip-zopping around. This is a little skip that we have here. You can jump on this platform and skip a little bit of running. Out of my way. Woo! Not showing that one, because depending on the version, you can't do it. There was a skip there that I skipped showing you, but it's not worth showing, really. Woo. This is actually pretty tight. I don't know if I'm going to make this. Okay, we made it. Okay. Okay, so we activate our torment. We get our dynamo as high as possible. And remember, we're going to do our infinite glitch. So we're going to right left click as quick as possible as soon as this boss spawns. Dead. Our dynamo is still built up. And then second wave appears, dead with the dynamo glitch. And then time. So that is the any percent run. Again, you don't need to do vendor, but I do highly recommend it. You're not always going to get the torment glitch, mostly because when you're playing the game, you're not always going to find a bow that has dynamo. But I do recommend that you create new characters until you find one that has dynamo and then just copying that character over and over, because then the only thing you're missing is the torment quiver, which you can find in Desert Temple only, or if you open the vendor, you can find in the vendor. So if you have any more questions, hop into our Discord. There's always a lot of people willing to help. Yeah, hope you enjoyed the tutorial.